All right, all right. Hey, how y'all doing tonight? Okay, we got some people joining in. Thanks for coming in. We're gonna give it a few more minutes. I'm gonna put a timer on here, and probably about 3.5 minutes, we're gonna get started. So yeah, let me go ahead and start this timer, and yeah, we're gonna get started soon. So see y'all soon. Want to thank everybody for joining. Glad you were able to make it. Those who don't know me, my name is Josiah Kidd. I perform AI automation for service businesses where I can automate their workflow. Whatever's costing them money, they call that digital transformation. So I go in and help the business owner pretty much automate their entire process. This is the second session I'm doing something like this. This all came about of wanting to move the casual user to a more strategic user when it comes to AI tools. These are becoming everyday tools right now. So just looking to put people on top of utilizing these tools strategically. Right. In the first session, we went over how to approach prompting, which is it's all about the mindset. It's all about how to direct AI instead of asking it questions like it's Google. Okay. We went over the roles, the context, the format, the task, the entire foundation when it comes to prompting. And based on the feedback from the first one, it left a lot of people curious and to want to learn more. So tonight we go further. Right. We now have intention, and intention is everything when it comes to these LLM tools. And by the way, which LLM tool do y'all use currently, predominantly? Is it ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, Copilot, DeepSeek? Go ahead, put it in the chat. Which one do y'all currently use right now? But when you're using these tools, the more intentional you are, the more specific you are, the better your results. Every word that you add to the prompt is a signal to the model. Vague signals produce vague outputs. Specific signals produce specific outputs. That's not a feature to the tool. That's a law of how these systems work. Now, your first prompt, that's a draft. The third prompt, now that becomes a weapon. All right. That's the thesis of tonight. And here's also something I don't really hear a lot of people talk about tokens. Every time AI generates a response for you, you're consuming credits. Cost you. So the goal is not to iterate endlessly. The goal is to get every all right. That's what being intentional actually looks like in practice. You've probably seen the message before. You reached your limit. You have wait 6 hours. Come back in 6 hours. That's and if you haven't seen that message, you're not necessarily using. So I mean, the goal isn't the goal is if you hit that wall, the token that you spent is moving you closer to exactly what you need. All right, that's the skill. That's what tonight is all about. All right. Now, before we jump into the demos, I want you to keep in mind when it comes to iteration, it's not about more. It's not about better. We're gonna see in the second demo that the output is gonna stay the same every round. What changes is the precision, the relevance, how much it actually sounds like you, how much it actually sounds like a person versus AI. What changes is the precision. So just think of it, a surgeon doesn't make 10 incisions to find the right one. They study the patient first and then they move forward with precision. That's the skill that we're building. All right. So let's jump into it here. And before we start, I want you all to do this with me. So go ahead, open up ChatGPT or Gemini if you use any of those tools. This first one here is going to be an image generation prompt. Okay. So whatever tool that you use for image generation, find a photo of yourself. Doesn't have to be professional, doesn't have to be dressed up, just a clear photo of your face, preferably upper body, and go ahead, upload that. We're going to run through 3 rounds. Each round, the prompt is going to get more specific. Round one, we're going to have a blurred city view. Round two, we're going to focus on body language. Round three, the aesthetics. Watch how this same photo transforms completely each time. All right. So let's go ahead. I'm going to pull up chat here for y'all. And I also, if you see in the chat, there is a Google Docs link. It's going to have all your prompts that we're going to go over tonight. This is what it looks like. At the top here has a few instructions of how to get started. And we're going to get started on 1.1 for this prompt here. Now, as I pull up ChatGPT, and majority of folks I come across use this, so I'm gonna go ahead and go over the interface real quick. The top right, we have a group chat, also have a temporary chat, which we're gonna utilize tonight. The temporary chat, it allows you to use the chat without having the memory stored in your file. So whatever conversation is not gonna be stored. On the left-hand side panel, you're gonna have new chats. You could search through chats. You got codecs if you wanna build websites or apps. We got more apps here. this comes handy when it comes to market analysis. We got Zillow, Expedia, Booking.com. We have different custom GPTs, projects here, your recent conversations. And what I want to show y'all here is in settings under personalization. On personalization here, you could come up with custom instructions. All right. So for example, I have never over explain, add unnecessary disclaimers, give me 7 options when I only need one decision. Never use the long dash. Be direct, warm, confident, like a trusted senior advisor. No filler, no great question. Just get to the point. So this becomes effective, especially when we're talking about those credits. So now it's not giving me a whole bunch of fluff, right? So I'm able to utilize less credits with my responses. The last item I want to go over in the settings is memory. I come across a few different people in the past where they had concerns. Oh, chat, I don't want it to take my idea, or looking to patent my invention. You can always delete your memory out of chat. Okay, this is one of the ways where you could prevent that here. So you can manage that and delete your memory. All right, so let's jump into it again. So we're gonna do an image generator here. Gonna pick a photo. We're gonna paste that prompt, and I just want y'all to see exactly how it looks visually when you're iterating. So I just took a picture from the day. Also gonna do this in Gemini, just so we could have a comparison. I already have it ready. Okay. Now we're just pasting this prompt here, nothing else. As that's loading, as it's generating. Now I won't go through every prompt, but I'll read this first one here. And what we asked it was, act as a cinematic photographer, transform this photo into a professional headshot. Place the person in front of a blurred city skyline at dusk. The cityscape should be softly out of focus behind them. Photorealistic. I always say photorealistic when I'm generating images. All right, so let's go back, see what it gave us. Oh, it's still loading. Okay, let's see if Gemini did something. Okay, all right, Gemini did something. I personally like Gemini when it comes to photos a little bit more than, and then chat comes with someone completely different. Doesn't really look like me personally, in my opinion. I like Gemini a little bit more. Right. But why? So AI is now, it's assuming the posture, it's assuming the angles, the lighting, everything is all guesses. Same prompt, two different interpretations. That's what minimum direction gets you. All right. So if we move to the second prompt, so we could get a little bit more specific, round 2 right here. And we're continuing the same conversation. We're not starting a new chat, same city background. Now we're going to direct the person. We're not changing the environment. We're just changing how they show up in it. In the second prompt, we're focused on the posture. Posture is confident and relaxed, a natural, composed expression, not forced. Professional attire, well fitted. The person should look like someone you trust in a boardroom. Okay, so let's see how it changes. Gonna add that. Gonna add it to Gemini as well. Okay, they're generating. They're generating. Now, posture communicates well before anything else is even read. So that's why it's important to highlight. All right, Gemini is coming in first again. Looks like the same image. They just changed the suit up a little bit, but it's still pretty clean. ChatGPT is a little slow. It's a little slow. And if you're following along, go ahead and post your image in the chat as well. Let me see how it's coming out for y'all. It's like chat still loading. Chat still loading. Okay, I see a few folks, they use chat, Gemini, Claude. Yeah, this person is completely different from what I was expecting. Again, Gemini is winning for me. Now, there's one more aspect that AI is still assuming, and I mentioned it earlier: the lighting, the camera angle, the resolution. That's what we're going to go over right now, round 3. Same city, same person. Now we're going to add some camera effects. Now we add what separates a good AI image versus what you'll pay a photographer for, right? Round 1, we had AI decide. Round 2, we directed the person. Now round 3, now we're going to direct the camera. 3 layers on one image. All right, so let's go ahead. I'm gonna copy and paste this prompt here. And we have verbiage in here: ultra realistic, 4K resolution, editorial magazine quality. This should be something that looks like it came from a professional brand photo shoot. All right, so let's go ahead, do chat first, since it's taking forever. Gemini, and we're just building on top of it. No new chats. We're just visually seeing how iteration works as we build on top of it. Okay. And if you have the free version, this works as well. You just get limited usages, but this works as well. You can still walk away with having an image that you can actually use tomorrow. on your LinkedIn profile or your business page, your website. Looks like Gemini is done. Okay. So if you notice, they added a little lighting here on the left hand side. All right. This is all about iterations. This is all about precision of what you actually want. And honestly, to me, this is a completely different person with ChatGPT. Let me know if y'all were following along. Let me know if y'all are satisfied with the photo it gave y'all. I like Gemini though. Gemini is where it's at when it comes to the images. All right, now that was the first exercise. Again, just wanted you to see visually how this iteration works and how we build on top of it. Now with the second exercise. How many of you have been asked before? So what do you do? Right? You're at a networking event, someone comes up to you. So what do you do? Your answer is either too long, it's too short, or it's just not quite right. That's the elevator pitch problem. And it doesn't matter if you're a CEO, retired, someone still figuring out. Everyone needs a 10 to 15-second answer to that question. So your next promotion, your next partnership. So we're gonna go ahead and build one right now, an elevator. We're gonna follow along with our character Jordan here. He's a mid-career professional in Detroit. Okay. Now this is round one. And here's what we're gonna do. And if you still have your chat pulled up, don't write Jordan's pitch, write your own. Just swap in your own details. And by round three, you'll have a strategic elevator pitch that you can actually use. And remember, for this one, our output is going to be 3 sentences every round. That's our constraints. So we're not getting more information each time. We're just getting more specific. So we have a role here. We have a task. We have very little context. And then we have our format constraints. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna copy paste this prompt into chat. Copy paste this. So Chad just gave us our elevator pitch. I can tell already this is gonna be very long-winded. So someone comes up to Jordan, asks, "So what do you do?" "Hi, my name is Jordan, and I help people buy, sell, and invest in real estate with the strategy that makes the process clear and stress-free. I focus on building real relationships, giving honest guidance, and helping my clients make smart decisions that create long-term value. If you or someone you know is thinking about making a move, I love to connect." Sheesh, that sounds like a template. It sounds like Chad is reading. Very long-winded. Now, let's make this more precise. Everything is all about context. Everything's all about context. So in round two, you're gonna have the same 3 sentences, but watch how different it reads when AI knows exactly who it's talking about. All right. So what we're adding here is Jordan's years of experience, 8 years of experience, who he helps. He helps middle income families achieve investment properties in their portfolio. This is just something that I've added in the background here. And what he's looking to gain from going to this networking event is connections and to locate opportunities. Okay, now we're getting a little bit more specific. So let's post that into chat. Let's see. Let's see. That's thinking. Okay, all right, this is a little better. It's a little better. So someone comes up to Jordan and says, "So what do you do?" "I'm Jordan, 8 years helping middle income families build property portfolios. I'm here to build connections and uncover strong opportunities. If we align, let's talk after this event." Okay, all right, so it's a little better, but notice we didn't add more sentences. We just added more meaning. So we're getting somewhere here. But I think we could get even more precise on this elevator pitch. Now, if we look at what's missing, we need a little bit more personality, I say. So let's add some personality, memorable detail, a closing statement that can continue the conversation further. And again, we want no more than 3 sentences. And this time it's going to sound like a specific human being, not just a template. All right. So we're going to take this prompt here. And in this prompt, we have verbiage. The first sentence should immediately communicate what makes me different. The last sentence should be open-ended and make whoever hears it want to continue the conversation. All right, so let's go ahead and add that to chat, just building on top of it. This right here is what iteration is all about. All right. So we have our pitch here. Someone comes up to Jordan. "So what do you do?" "I'm Jordan, and for 8 years, I've helped middle income families buy investment properties without feeling overwhelmed. I focus on practical deals, clear numbers, and long term results. What kind of opportunities are you seeing right now?" Okay, so even better, a lot better than the first one. The first one was very long-winded. The second one was even better. The third one keeps the conversation going even further. All right. So now we essentially have a pitch that we can use tomorrow morning or at our next event to attain that next opportunity. All right. This is what, building on top of it is all about. Okay. Exercise 3 right here. We're going to make things a little bit more interesting. Now Jordan has a pitch. Now the question is, well, what can Jordan build this week that he can start selling? In the age of AI, where you can build practically any digital product, website, apps, extensions, tools, with a few simple sentences, opportunity is everywhere, ladies and gentlemen. It's everywhere. And Jordan doesn't know the next time taxes will increase or his company's going to go through layoffs or he's going to be outperformed by his competitors. So he needs some other sources of income coming in. So what he does know is that these tools can build exactly what he needs to sell. All right. So let's give it some context here. Let's say Jordan has a passion in remodeling homes. He's already in real estate and he wants to start selling to his clients and other individuals in his network. All right. So round one, we already know Jordan's passion in remodeling. Now let's see what AI does with what we already know. ChatGPT already has the profile from the exercise two, has the pitch, knows what he does, how long he's been in it. So we're not going to start over. We're just going to build on top of that. With these two new pieces of information, watch what comes back. All right. So let's go ahead and copy paste the passion. I've inserted that he likes to remodel homes and he's doing B2C for his clientele. Okay, so what the prompt has asked for is asked for 5 ideas for it to be ranked with the price point and timing. This is for a real person with a real passion. This is not a generic list. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna read through these, and this time I want y'all to go ahead post it in the chat. Which idea should we move forward with? So one, we have a virtual home flip consulting. Virtual home flip consulting. Two is a do-it-yourself remodel budget blueprint service. Number three, local off-market deal alert membership. Number four, remodel content brand with lead generation. And number five, investor-friendly contractor matchmaking. Let's go ahead and have some fun with this. Y'all let me know which one should we continue moving forward with as far as a product idea that Jordan could have his AI tool build for him and he could start selling this week? Let me know. I'm gonna let y'all put it in the chat. We got virtual home flipping consultant. This is a Zoom sessions helping buyers spot profitable remodel opportunities. We got DIY remodel budget blueprint service, custom renovation budgets, scope plans, and ROI estimates. We got three is a local off-market deal alert membership. This is a paid community sharing local fixer-upper opportunities. We got four remodel content brand with lead generation. This is a short form video teaching profitable remodel tips that funnel leads to service. You got five, investor-friendly contractor matchmaking. This connects investors with reliable contractors and charge a referral or a placement fee. Which one should we go with? I'm gonna let y'all decide. I think I like the virtual home flipping myself. Zoom sessions, helping buyers spot profitable remodel opportunities. What y'all think? Okay. Y'all use Gemini. I'm just now pulling the chat up. Local off-market deal alert membership or number one. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and go with that. This is the third pick. Okay. All right, thanks, Savannah. So let's go ahead and move forward with that. So going back to our presentation, we now have our idea. Now we're gonna go all in and watch the constraints here. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna plug this idea into this prompt. And guys, I'm just showing you the setup here. I'm just showing you the setup with the minimum amount of time that we have. All right. So of course, when you're using chat, you want to do a little bit more market analysis, ask more questions, iterate more, build on top of it. But what we're doing, what I'm showing is how you can actually build a product, build a service, build a business with a few simple prompts. So I just plugged that product idea into that prompt. And afterwards, this is what it gave us here. We have a price point, we have a target market, we have a first 24-hour action plan. This is our starting line. We don't even need a business plan. We have one right here. Okay, starting point at $29 per month. We have in the next 24 hours, make simple Google Forms, wait lists, post launching, a weekly off market deal list. It has the platforms we could post on. Okay, so it's giving us all good ideas here. Now, once we have that, once we have that, now we're looking at round three, and this is for those who want to start using Claude. All right, we're gonna have Chat GPT write everything that Jordan needs to paste into Claude. If you heard me speak before, I always use the analogy. Chat GPT, that's like your brainstorming buddy. Okay. That's you want to bounce ideas, build ideas on top of each other, market analysis, research, go to chat. Once you have your idea set, okay, now you go to Mr. Claude. Okay. Claude is like your strategic advisor that's going to execute that plan, that idea that you have. And Claude, when you go to Claude, Claude is all about the setup, okay? The goals, your instructions, your memory. So we're going to go ahead and paste this prompt that's asking for all of that into chat so it could deliver prompts that we could add to Claude. Okay. So it gave us a profitable goal, conversation starter, memory prompt, custom instructions. So all this becomes important when we go into Claude. Okay, I already have Claude set up. What we're gonna do is go to projects. This is where Claude is great. You go to projects, we're gonna just name the project real quick. Let's just say local off-market deals. And the first thing Claude is gonna ask you is, what's your goals? What are you trying to achieve here? ChatGPT already gave us that. You just copy paste that. Okay. This is not just prompting anymore. This is building an entire infrastructure. Okay. In this field right here, you're gonna post your conversation starter. You start the conversation. Also, we're going to add instructions so Claude knows what we're looking to do. Add instructions right here, save your instructions. After you start talking with it a little bit more, then you can add your memory. You can't add it right now at the beginning, but after you start, you can add that memory prompt. So this is what Claude gave us. The fastest path to $1,000 this month. This month, the setup fee has a 30-day plan, your outreach channels. You have an action plan for today, right now, to start, and then so forth. Okay. So this is just to give y'all an idea of what you can actually go ahead and move forward with and have Claude build everything out. Okay. We started with an image, we built a pitch, we starting to build product ideas all through the AI. AI is going to be the entire setup. I want you to take away with these four words: read it, diagnose it, refine it, repeat it. Every single prompt, every single time. And tonight, I'm only going to give you one thing to do, not three, but one. Take a prompt you've already used this week, run it again. After the first response comes back, ask AI. So, what will make this response more specific and useful for my exact situation? And then implement it. That one move right there is going to teach you how to use AI to improve your own prompting. Okay. And then that compounds. As a recap, out of each of the exercises we perform, which one would you start experimenting with first? We generated images, taking professional studio quality photos. We created an elevator pitch, knowing exactly what to say when you're introduced to your next opportunity. Also initiated a product idea that you can sell this week. Utilize that link I also put in the chat. It has every prompt that we went over tonight. You take it, you use it, share it with someone who needs it. And before I let y'all go, I do want to hear from you all. Any questions or quick thoughts on your mind from tonight's session here? You know, Kept it quick and brief, showing y'all exactly visually to interpret how iteration works and how you build on top of it. And what I really want to know is, if you woke up tomorrow and you had Claude already set up, the way we built it here, what's the first item that you'll direct it to help you with? All right. So yeah, if anybody has any questions, comments, see the link in the chat here. Let me repost it. Here, I'll repost it.
Yo, Josiah,
Yeah, good.
I was playing around with Claude this week actually. I was
Okay.
kind of comparing it to how ChatGPT is and just different stuff that it really do. But it seems like to really get the full, maximum out of Claude versus the ChatGPT, you really got to buy this like service of it versus without it, it's really no difference in ChatGPT by itself. Is that right? The regular version, like the unpaid version, is the equivalent to ChatGPT, right?
I mean, with Claude, you can add like agents to your computer so it could download and rearrange files for you if you had the
Yeah.
paid version. But I mean, the free version though as well is I'll say it's better than Chat GPT
Okay. Yeah,
because
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 I was
it
trying
all
to like
depends on what you ask it to.
yeah, I was trying to do like some do some stuff like that as far as rearranging files to see how it worked. But then I had seen it was like it couldn't do that with the free version. You had to like upgrade it. So then I was like, oh, okay.
Right.
So all right. So it have the capabilities and I see all of the tools in it too. But it's just like a paid version for that. So I'm like, okay, okay, makes sense.
Right, right. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of like the only difference I've seen from Claude with the paid version versus the free version is to have the AI agent in your files to rearrange everything. But other
Yeah.
than that, the free version is kind of the same. But as far as Claude versus Chat, Claude it thinks a little bit deeper than Chat. It's a little bit more deeper analysis for the
Okay.
answers, the responses it gives.
Makes sense, makes
And,
sense.
and Claude just came out with another update, matter of fact, last week. Yeah, so they really ahead of Chat GPT
Okay.
with their capabilities. You could make different tools, websites, web pages, apps, all through Claude.
Oh, okay.
But in closing, I'll work on getting the playback out to you all. If anyone was following along, I know we kind of went kind of fast going through each of the rounds, but we'll have the playback for you all. You already have access to every prompt that we went over. The link is in the chat. Play around with it further, go deeper, push the prompts further than what we did tonight. Because I'm telling you, someone in this room is going to have $100,000 business by the end of this year, once they start playing around further. All right. So I want to thank y'all again for joining this quick, brief session of iterations going beyond the prompt, just so y'all could look at these tools a little bit more strategically and how you use it. And if you want to stay connected, feel free to follow me on LinkedIn or scan that QR code, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Thanks again. Don't think about it, just do it.